You might like this if you enjoy epic film scores, you love exploring what religion means to you and to our society. The symphony is your jam, especially large-scale symphonic works by Eastern European composers. You're into mysticism and meditation, or you want to change the world and are fascinated by leaders of social movements. Are you in?
Wszystko to, co wymieniłaś, dokładnie tak. Rzeczywiście coś fantastycznego dla ducha, bo tymże jest opera i myślę, że tym właśnie może być Król Roger, który będzie wystawiony w Chicago tylko dwukrotnie, ale my dzisiaj mieliśmy okazję zajrzeć, podejrzeć, obejrzeć próbę generalną. No i rzeczywiście chyba musimy przyznać, że jest to wydarzenie nieprawdopodobne.
It's an unbelievable experience, all the more because this is the first opera in the Polish language performed here in the city of Chicago. So a big point of pride, I think, for all of us who share a Polish heritage. It was really wonderful to get a little sneak peek so far of the opera performed in the Polish language. Amazing. I am absolutely astounded and I can't wait to see the full performance.
Posłuchajmy w takim razie, co mówią na temat tej fantastycznej opery wystawionej tutaj w Harris Theatre jej twórcy.
What inspired the production of King Roger? First of all, it's a Polish opera. It's not the most widely performed opera around the world. What inspired bringing that to audiences here in Chicago?
I think that the company really cares a lot about engaging with the community. And a lot of people, of course, know that Chicago has a huge Polish community in the metropolitan area.
Yes.
And so they really try to choose pieces that the community will really respond to, because a strange opera with a strange story is sort of par for the course. So anything that will help people have some sort of familiarity with the material is great, and it's great for the audience, it's great for the company. And so I think that that's what inspired them to program it in the first place. What inspired me about the opera the most is actually the origin. It's this neoclassical retelling of this play by Euripides. And when you sort of tap into that element, that's how you find the universality to the story, so that everybody can connect with it. Because not a lot of people are going to know the language, not a lot of people are going to know about the King of Sicily in the 12th century, but if you sort of get down to the core of the piece and the story, that's where everybody sitting in the theater can start to go, oh, this is why we're telling the story.
That's why we do theater in the first place,
Yeah,
right?
of course.
And a little bit of a fight between convention and kind of letting go into this kind of more free-spirited aspect nature of ourselves, which is, I think, a big theme nowadays, right?
Oh, yeah. And it's a big theme in this opera. It's a big theme in this production. Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, I look forward to seeing it. Now, the opera, I found out, is in Polish with English subtitles. For you, how has that been directing a Polish production in the Polish language?
Yeah, it's interesting because in opera we're used to working in a lot of languages, and I don't know them all. I know German pretty well, and I am learning Russian because I do also a lot of Russian rep. So for me, I have to do a lot of prep. And I study the language as much as I can. I study this poetry as much as I can. Luckily we have a lot of resources to help us, and they help me a lot too.
A lot of translators here, I would imagine.
And we're very fortunate to have singers who are from Poland, and they actually do a really great job of helping me understand, this word, it actually has the nuance of this, and so when I'm acting, that's why I'm doing it this way.
Yeah.
And so without them, I don't know where I would be.
Well, you're a professional, so I'm sure you make the work super smooth. How many people are performing in this production?
We have a principal cast of 6. We have 3 choruses that total, I think, over 120 people. And
Just the choruses?
And then an orchestra of, I believe, about 80. So actually a rather large
Sizable.
forces, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we really fill up the stage.
Alex Kołyszko, or Kołyszko, as we would say in Polish, one of the members of one of the choruses, of which altogether there are over 100 members. What has it been like preparing for this incredible production?
It's just been absolutely amazing. I mean, being in a chorus with over 100 people is just absolutely breathtaking. Between the Apollo chorus, the Lyra ensemble, all the AGMA choristers, it just feels so wonderful. The vibrations in the room when we hit the C major chord in Act 1, it's just wonderful.
I just got chills already and I haven't even heard it yet. I can only imagine how incredible that must be. What has it been like? Have you all practiced together for how long? How many months of preparation has this taken? And have you all always been in the same room rehearsing, or have you just all met?
Yeah, so it different for everybody. I know the Apollo Chorus was working on their side for several weeks before all teams kind of came together, as well as the Lyra Ensemble. They had some pre-rehearsals before everybody came together. So it's just been several weeks. Everybody's been working on it for the last 2 months. I know I started looking at the music over the summer, so we all came together and brought this together very quickly.
Lovely. What's it like singing in Polish? Because you sing in Polish, is that right?
Na pewno. Mówimy po polsku. It just...
Śpiewamy.
Yeah, fantastycznie. Well, to put it lightly, right, it is fantastic. Being Polish myself, my mother is coming to see this production in Chicago, and I know even her just emotions and feelings will just be out of this roof just because it's so monumental. Singing in a language that's so important to me and important to my family, as well as important to the city, right? Polish and us Poles are just so vital, to the city of Chicago. So it just feels wonderful.
Za nami 90 minut, które nie wiem jak określić. Uczty dla ducha, dla umysłu? Chyba tak.
Yes, I think this was a feast for the senses, for the heart, for the soul, the ears, of course, the mind. It was definitely a spectacle, to say the least. It's hard to find the words to say exactly how you feel about it right after the show, but it certainly was impressive. Amazing, amazing performances by all of the artists. And it was such a treat for me, and I think for everyone who's Polish in the audience today, to hear the Polish language performed on an American stage. I grew up in Chicago. I did theater school here in Chicago, and let me tell you, for me personally, it was very much a point of pride to see the Polish language performed in a production here in Chicago professionally.
Oczywiście fantastyczny występ polskich artystów, ale także tych amerykańskich, którzy musieli zmierzyć się nie tylko ze słowami Iwaszkiewicza, nie tylko z trudnym językiem polskim. Przede wszystkim dla nich oczywiście śpiewanie opery pewnie jest czymś, co robią na porządku dziennym. Tyrone Chambers...
Let me tell you, they make it look very easy, but it certainly is a craft of the highest caliber. So big bravo to them, first of all, for what they do, but also to all of the American performers in the cast who managed the Polish language perfectly.
Mariusz Godlewski, Iwona Sobotka to oczywiście polscy wykonawcy, ale Tyrone Chambers, on jest jednym z ulubionych wykonawców operowych tutaj w mieście Chicago, natomiast ta rola, z którą musiał się zmierzyć, na pewno do łatwych nie należała. Wykonał to perfekcyjnie i myślę, że ja dzisiaj podczas tego występu momentami miałem ciarki na swojej skórze. Czułem to, rzeczywiście ta muzyka przeszywa człowieka, całe wnętrze i myślę, że pozostaje jeszcze na długo. I to chyba zapamiętamy po dzisiejszym wystawieniu opery Król Roger tutaj na deskach Harris Theatre.
Absolutely, and it's not just the talent, it's also the story, I think, that stays with us long after we see something like this. Today's story revolved around kind of fighting that sort of conservative approach to life and letting our souls be free. So with the beautiful music, which, by the way, I heard people in between the acts in the audience, I heard people saying how beautiful the music is, how wonderful the performance is. So again, another reason for all of us to be proud that this was a performance in Polish and it left everyone really impressed. So let's take the lesson from the story and really enjoy the treat that this was.
My będziemy jeszcze przez chwilę chłonąć. Wy macie szansę jeszcze w najbliższą niedzielę, bo opera będzie ponownie wystawiana tutaj w tym samym miejscu i myślę, że dla tych osób, które znają operę, ale także dla tych, które nigdy nie miały okazji opery poznać, to jest dobry moment, aby właśnie tutaj docenić ten wspaniały kunszt wszystkich artystów, absolutnie. Od tych, którzy tworzyli operę, poprzez tych, którzy ją wykonali.
Absolutely. Do not fear the cold. Come out to the theater. It's well worth it.